Hello, my name is Ilona and today it's Monday, May 29th, 2023. Here in the Netherlands we are celebrating the second Pentecost day. We always have 2 days. For Christmas we have 2 days, Easter and also for Pentecost. I know that it's not everywhere in other countries and so we are still having a 3-day celebration day. Erdogan has won again in Turkey, so he's going to be president for another 5 years, so that's interesting. The thing I wanted to take a look at, and this is about the Netherlands here, but I think it is something that's most likely is going to happen, or maybe is already happening in other countries as well. This is about looking at what the restrictions that were placed the past 3 years and how the government handled the crisis that was happening here in the Netherlands. So they now want to, have this committee that's going to look at things and even interrogate Rutte and the Minister of Health at that time, De Jonge, here in the Netherlands. But this is going to happen in 2025. Then there'll be hearings and they'll be talking to Rutte and De Jonge. And there will be conclusions made that will be in 2026. So that's like 6 years after this started in 2020. And of course continued for like at least 2 years. And we still had some things going on. Although most of all the restrictions have been gone for quite some time here in the Netherlands and worldwide, I think. I'm not sure if there's still some countries that have some things that's connected to what has happened the past 3 years. But it's just amazing that this gets pushed forward so much. I just had a feeling like it's almost like something purposely done. And I just wanted to take a look at this. And I think it also happens, of course, in other countries as well. Especially when looking at the government, looking at what they've done. They want to look at, reflect on that. But it's always years later. So not much is happening right now. And of course, here in the Netherlands, we have this health law that's just been passed with these restrictions in there, which they're now, this is what they're talking about, try to evaluate and how the government responded. So in 2026, they'll be coming out, hopefully, with a report. It's probably going to push away by that time, telling most likely, although it's done by the government, so sorry, we'll have to wait and see what's actually going to be in there, how ineffective all these restrictions were. But in the meantime, they have this law now. So if something happens before then, it's a possibility they're going to put those restrictions and use them again. So this is very interesting. So I did a card reading and 2 cards fell out later on, right before I was starting my next card reading. And I was still talking about this. So I want to take a look at that after the card reading, but that's very interesting because I do believe, although maybe I can just look at it now. These were the cards that fell out. This was after I took the cards away from the card reading about this pushing things forward. And I think this is not just happening in the Netherlands, but worldwide. In a lot of countries, everything that has to do with what has happened, they're just pushing it forward. Well, that's because they are still wanting to create a new crisis concerning health. These are the cards that fell out and they were upside down. I normally do not work with upside down cards, but if it happens to fall out like that, it means the opposite what is showing you. So this is the King of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. Now the Ace of Wands is usually energetic beginning. It has to do with energies, with everything, the fire in you. And really, they're trying to push that down again. And this, the King of Pentacles, is about health, about the body. And especially because what I was talking about. So they are trying to create another way of pushing humanity in a corner. And using certain restrictions, certain things that obviously already been proven how ineffective they were. But here in the Netherlands, they'll need till 2026 to maybe come out with that. Because most likely they're just going to throw out other things and it wasn't that bad or something like that. It's done by the government themselves. So the government has to look at their own, own way of handling things. So usually if the puppets haven't been removed by then, we're going to get the same things. Although my feeling is that I'm going to talk about that in the card reading, that I don't think it's going to last that long, and we're not going to be, seeing these puppets in 2026. But we'll have to wait and see, obviously, but that's the feeling I have. Like, we're not going to be able to handle this for very long in this way. But I'm probably going to do a card reading about that as well this week. But this is interesting. So they're going to try to create something new concerning health. They are working on that. And we're already seeing that, certain flus suddenly popping up. And they're trying to create that again. So that's why they also want here in the Netherlands the tool to really bring down people and put them back in. So something's happening on that terrain. And the cards I got for why is this pushed so far away. The first one is the Six of Pentacles. I've got the Five of Pentacles as the central card. I've got the Queen of Swords in the past. I have the Ace of Pentacles underneath the central card. And for the future we have the Page of Wands and the Devil. So to me this feels like this is both energies. The energy of the Whiteheads and the dark energies. I believe, and I kind of got this, yes, that's to me a confirmation, that the dark energies want to push this as far as possible, hoping that a lot of people have forgotten by then and doing completely different things. And they, of course, want to use these restrictions for other health things that might be happening. So the dark energies are pushing this for a reason as far away. But the Whiteheads are using this to show people, oh, look at them. The government, you're out in the cold. They're not looking at anything. They're not checking anything or evaluating. So it's very likely they're going to use this again. It's more of showing the people that the government is not there for them. If the government really wanted to do something about it, they would start it immediately. They would have started it already, let's face it, and they probably would have ended by now, and showing how ineffective all these restrictions were. So the Whiteheads are using this to wake up people, to show people, yeah, they're putting you out in the cold. They're not worried about you. They don't care. They're not going to evaluate before maybe something else is happening. So this is really about showing people. So these are the two energies. And like I've mentioned, I don't think we're going to, in 2026, I have a feeling things will be very, very different. But we'll just have to work with what they come up with now. But they purposely are trying to push this as far as possible, hoping that by that time there will be other distractions and people won't be that interested in that report anymore. And most likely something else has already happened health-wise, and they're hoping they can still use that. Those restrictions, especially in the Netherlands, they put that in the law. So, and worldwide, they've got a lot of laws, I think, in other countries as well concerning that. But this is about balancing things. This is showing people what's really going on. So I found this a very interesting article. And of course, these two were popping out in between my card reading, so to speak. But I was still talking about the health crisis. So they are really working towards another one. They are really working hard to create it. I don't think it's going to work, to be very honest, but that is what the dark energies are working towards. So that's the card reading about that. And I had another card reading about this week, the energies of this week. First one is the Ten of Swords, the Six of Wands, and the Six of Pentacles. So this is there's going to be a victory. I think something's going to change radically. Something will be cut off, or something will happen very radical that will be a victory. And I do believe for humanity. So we'll just have to wait and see what that could be. It could be something that could seem in a way insignificant now, but it can have massive effects along the way. You will have to see things as a chess game, so later on. But this is about restoring balance. So this coming week, something will happen that will be very radical, that will create victory and will create balance ultimately. So that's something really beautiful in a way. And the cards for the advice for this week, we have the Three of Cups, we have the Nine of Wands, and we have the Seven of Swords. It's time for people to enjoy themselves more, to truly, maybe meet up with friends, or maybe read a book if that really is a form of relaxation for you. But it's about relaxing, meeting people, enjoying life. Very important that we start doing that. We start enjoying life. I've noticed myself that I am stepping away more of all these news things and happenings, and I just pick out what I find interesting. But I've noticed that a lot of these things, it just doesn't matter to me that much anymore. I'm really focusing on myself, on my own process. The Great Awakening is about us individually waking up and changing our energies and using our energies for ourselves, so we can really create this new beautiful earth, because we are the ones creating it ultimately. That's why they need us to program things, because we are the ones creating their reality for them. So if we take back our power and our energies, there's not much to create anymore. So I'm kind of stepping away from all this flood of information and news. I just pick out what I find interesting. Of course, I share it on my Telegram channel, but I've just noticed most of it is just the same thing, and you just get caught in this manipulation. They just want to get you angry. They want to get you fearful. It's all these low vibrations they want to drag you into. So it's very important to just maybe step back from it. It's okay to follow things, but really focus on what am I following and how does it affect me? Because this is about focusing on yourself. The change comes from within, so we can change the outside. And this is really about relaxation, enjoying life more, and looking at really those hard things that are popping up now. We are really into these dark, how do you say this, repressed maybe pieces in ourselves, maybe from past lifetimes, this lifetime. It's popping up now. I've already mentioned this before. We really are in this energy to cleansing ourselves, cleaning ourselves from all these, healing ourselves. Cleansing, it's maybe not the right word, but healing, because it's all energy. But some of the energy got stuck. It's painful, anger, fear, frustration. It kind of got stuck in there, connected to all kinds of convictions that we have, that we're not good enough, we're not valuable enough, we're victims. All these things that we can, believe, and that's what we are creating. So all these difficult things are now popping up, and we won't be able to run away from it anymore. I do think you can see it in your surroundings as well. Maybe even people not consciously aware of this really are kind of hitting a wall, or are just kind of getting stuck more and more in their negative way of thinking, or just get dragged in because they don't want to take the responsibility to really connect with themselves. So it's going to be tougher for people that are not working through those things. And we all have our own choices to make. This is a free will zone, so it's not that you can really do anything about that. The only thing you can do is really connect with yourself, with God, start just shining your light, and then other people can see that and can connect with it, or decide it's not for them and kind of run away. The stronger you get, the more you will attract people that are more suitable, and the people that just don't fit anymore, don't resonate, they'll just take off. They won't be able to fit in. It won't be comfortable for them anymore. And I think for a lot of people, life is becoming very uncomfortable. It's an opportunity to change and to start self-reflecting and start working with their energies. But it's up to them to make that decision. If they make it unconsciously or consciously, it is completely up to them. And some people will decide on a certain level not to do anything with it. And that's up to their soul and what they want to learn. And we shouldn't have a judgment about that. I do understand the frustration, especially when they're loved ones, people you care about, and they just don't want to wake up. But it is their decision. But we are now in the phase that we won't be able to run away anymore. So people are noticing things. Even if they are not aware, they'll notice some things will get tougher, and sometimes people actually grow and are blooming. That's a possibility as well. So just see what's happening, but we won't be able to run away from those the darker parts in ourselves, the deep parts that need healing right now. We are really in that process. So this is what I've got for today, and hope to see you in another video. Bye.